So we are checking low air warning device. Okay. So our pressure is 110 psi in both the gauges, right? Now we will drop the pressure to check low air warning. Now we will check low air warning device. Okay. So our pressure is 110 psi in both gauges. Now we will pump the brake pedal and drop the pressure to check low air warning. Low air warning is working at 55 psi, which is good. If it works below 55, vehicle defective. Now we have to read the schedule one. So low air warning system fails or system is activated, which is a major defect. If we have a major defect in our vehicle, we cannot drive the truck. We have to call our owner, report on logbook, and we cannot drive. Now we are checking air pressure buildup time. Okay, our pressure is 110 psi. We will drop it to 80 psi or below by pumping the brake pedal. So pressure below 80. When it gets to 85, we will start the timer. So it's 85 now. So we will stop the timer when it gets to 100. So it's 100. Okay, it took only 21 seconds to build up from 85 to 100, so which is good. Now we will read the schedule one for the defects. So slow air pressure build-up rate, which is a minor defect. If we have a minor defect on our vehicle, we have to write on logbook, report to our owner, and we can drive the truck. So now we are checking audible air leak or air loss in the system. So for that purpose, we have to release the parking brakes, push them in both. Okay. Now we gotta make sure that we have enough pressure. So we had the pressure more than 100. Now we had engine shut off, ignition on. Now we will press the brake pedal and hold it there. First we will listen outside if we hear any air leak or not. So there's no air leak outside. Now we will start the timer to check air loss. For 1 minute we have to keep our brake pedal hold there in applied position, and we have to look at the gauge. Are we losing any pressure or not? So we have a tractor trailer. We are allowed to have a maximum 4 psi of air loss. It should be less than that within a minute. So 1 minute is over now. So we didn't lose any pressure. So air loss is less than 4 psi in 1 minute. Okay. Now we have to read the schedule one. Audible air leak, which is a minor defect. If we have a minor defect, we'll call our owner, write on logbook, and we can drive the truck. Air loss rate exceeds the prescribed limit, which is a major defect. If we have a major defect in our vehicle, we have to call our owner, write on logbook, and we cannot drive the truck. So now we are checking tractor protection valve. For that, we have to make sure our parking brake is in released position, and trailer supply valve, it's out, pulled out. Okay, and then we have to make sure that our pressure is 100 psi or above. Now we will go down and remove the service line from the trailer. So we are pulling the service line out, and we'll keep it close to the cab. Okay, now we have to go inside, press the brake pedal, and listen for a leak in it. So now we will press the brake pedal, and we have to listen for any air leak in the service line. No air leak in the service line, that means tractor protection valve is working properly. If there's a leak, protection valve is defective. Inoperative towing vehicle tractor protection system, which is a major defect. If we have a major defect in our vehicle, we have to write on logbook, call our owner, and we cannot drive the truck. So now we are doing a push rod stroke measurement. For that, we have to release our parking brake, and we have to make sure the pressure. So we have to make sure that pressure is 90 to 100 psi, and we have to go outside. Check our brake chamber size. Okay, we need a caliper for that and a measuring tape. Okay, so we have to measure the outside ring of the brake chamber with the caliper. So you gotta put it on both sides. Okay, so it's touching on both ends. So now we have to measure this opening. We can measure it in a centimeter, and we can convert it into millimeters, right? So let's see. So outside diameter we have about 17.5 centimeters. If we convert into millimeters times 10, that becomes 175 millimeter. So 175 millimeter means the brake chamber size we have is a 20, because it's close to 172. And then at the back side we have a tag here that tells us this is 20L size. Okay, now we have to put the mark on a push rod here. It's right here. Okay, so we have already permanent mark there. Now we have to apply the service brake and make sure we have a pressure 90 to 100 again. Now we have to press and hold the brake pedal with the help of brake buddy we have. Push it there, hold it up. Okay, we got to bring the steering wheel down. So the service brake is applied now, and we have to make sure the pressure. Our service brake was applied, and the pressure we have is 90 to 100. Okay, so this is our brake buddy, right? I'll tell you how to use it. So push this button on top, and you can pull it down and pull it up, right? And then with these two handles you can tighten it in the steering wheel here. Okay.
Manji.
So that's how it's applied. So now we will measure the push rod stroke. Okay, so we are measuring it from the brake chamber to the mark we have there, right? So let's put our finger there and we can bring it out. You can see it. So we measure the push rod stroke about 32 millimeters. Okay, for this brake chamber we have adjustment limit of 51. So our brake is in adjustment limit. If it comes out more than 51, then our brakes is out of adjustment, which is a defect. Okay, now we have to read the schedule 1. Push rod stroke of any brake exceeds the adjustment limit, which is a major defect. If we have a major defect, we gotta call our owner, write on logbook, and we cannot drive the truck.